Hey yo, what's up, y'all? So I was just sitting up here reminiscing, thinking, about the good old days. Um, and I just want to know, seriously, honestly, what the hell that happened to hip hop? Seriously, I really just want to know, honestly, what has happened to hip hop? Because it sounds nothing like what I grew up listening to. It sounds nothing like what I grew up listening to. Back in the day, you know, the golden era, the 90s, you know what I mean? We had real artists, right? Real artists who took time to perfect their craft, real artists that put an effort into making, real music, real hip hop. I'm talking about Tupac, Biggie, NWA, Ice Cube, Snoop and Dre, 50 Cent. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I know that some of the greats have passed on, but my question is how come these new school artists can't apply the same technique as the old school artists did? Half of them sound like they didn't even graduate past third grade. And my coworkers, it baffles me because my coworkers, they play the modern hip hop, on blast all day, constantly. And my question is like, why do y'all? What's so great about this? It makes my ears bleed, to be honest with you. Like what is so great about these modern, rappers, if that's what you want to call them? They have no talent, no skill. Like what happened to the real hip hop? You know what I'm saying? What happened to, as soon as you hear the beat drop, you instantly knew who it was. Like as soon as the beat dropped, and that's the one thing that I find different because it's no uniqueness within the artist no more. It's no real talent. There's nothing unique about them. And they use the same beat for every rapper. You know what I mean? They use the same beat for every rapper, if that's what you want to call them. Cause to me, it just sounds like mumble rap. Like I said, half of them don't even sound like they got past third grade. But uh, but yeah, and they don't be talking about nothing. They don't be talking about anything, that is relevance, that is, of importance. NWA, for example, came out with F the Police. That was a statement that they was trying to make, to stand up against police brutality. You know what I mean? Like these rappers nowadays, they don't talk about one of three things: sex, drugs, or money. That's it. Like that's all they really mention in their songs. Mostly sex and drugs. That because their brains don't get past third grade. I mean, it's just stuck right there. Uh, but yeah. So and maybe it got something to do with me being older, But it's like this, if you born in a mansion, you refuse to settle for anything less than that. If you was born and raised in a mansion, then you can't settle for a shack. You know what I mean? You can't settle for, just anything less than that is what I'm trying to say. So once you have experienced the best, the way my brain works, you refuse to settle for anything less. And I've experienced the best era in hip hop. So, my brain can't accept anything less than that. A lot of people ask me, well, Jay, how come, you so old school? Because old school was the best era. Like, duh. That's a dumb question to me. But yeah, that was the best era in hip hop. And rest in peace to the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently we ain't gonna never get that back. I'm sorry, that's. But man, I just wish these new school artists would put the same time and effort into their craft like the old school artists did, man. Like seriously, I just had to get that off my chest real quick, cause I listen to the modern rap and I just shake my head. I shake my head. I'm like, what the hell, is going on here? It just don't make no sense to me. But it is what it is. So that's that.